so to configure Telnet and enable passwords, first we need to get in configuration mode. And from here, we use the enable command for both Telnet and enable passwords. So you can see from the help here that we have options to enable Telnet, which allows Telnet access and sets passwords for Telnet access for remotely connecting to the switch. And then we have passwords for super user, for read-only, and for port configuration. So we'll talk about each of those as we go through this demonstration. But first we'll enable a Telnet password to restrict remote access. And we'll just use remote password as the password here. So what this one does is sets up a password for remote connections to the switch to make sure that no one can connect to it remotely. Otherwise, by default, the switch is wide open to any Telnet session. So now that we've done that, we might want to look at setting up a super user password. Now, super user password, I told you about the read-only password and the port config password, but super user password is required first to be able to set a password for either one of those other privileges. So the reason being that you have to have a secure super user account to manage the other accounts that are available and access levels that are available in the switch. So we can use the enable super user password command. And again, this is just an ASCII string, so we'll just put an ASCII string here. I'm going to keep this simple for us, and we're going to use password 1. So now we have a super user password. Let's go ahead and set up the others as well. So let's go ahead and do the read-only password. And we'll use, again, something simple. I'll just do password 2. And then we'll finally set up the port config password. And again, we'll just use password 3. Okay, so we have each of these set up. Now let's go ahead and test those out and see what the result is with these new passwords for enable access. So we'll get out of enable mode and we'll log in here. So when we type enable, it will prompt us for a password, and the password we put in is what's going to determine our privileges within the switch. So I'll go ahead and put in password 1. And this is going to give me super user access. So from here, if I do the question mark, you can see all of the commands available. It's a nice long list of commands. The main one being configure. That's one of the key pieces of being the super user. So I can get into configure mode and actually change the configuration of the switch. So confirmation, I can get into configuration mode, and I can configure anything in here. I can configure ports, I can configure protocols, anything on the switch I have full access to. So let's log out of this, and we will get into enable again, and it'll prompt me for the password. We'll use password 2. Now this is my read-only password. So from here, if you look at the commands available to me, it's a very limited list. I can really do show commands, and I can do some connectivity testing and things like that, but that's really the limits of what I can do. What you can see I don't have here is config. It won't have been accepted. It's not even a valid command. So you can't really do anything from read-only mode except view information about the switch, about the network, and do some basic connectivity testing. So let's log out of here again, and we'll get into enable, and we'll put in our password 3. Now this is our port config mode, so when you look at our help, you can see we have pretty much the same things as read-only, but we can get into configure mode here. Let's get into configuration mode, and in config mode, you can see the commands are very limited here. I can't configure any protocols. All I can do is configure anything related to an interface. So I can get into a particular interface, and I can configure anything related to that interface, but what I can't configure are any global configuration parameters or settings. So that concludes our demonstration on Telnet enable passwords. I look forward to sharing more demonstrations with you in the future.